to another Midwestern Minecraft Mining Livestream. We are here on livestream number 24 of this series. Do appreciate everybody who has come out. I hope that your guys' time zone, whatever your guys' time zone is most wunderbar. So, of course, as usual on our agenda, we are going to be diving into the fun of the mine so as that we can get some good wunderbar stuffs for all of the for our stuff to make things happen, because of course we still need to finish up the item sorter. So of course, we need to do something about that, and so by of course doing that, we have the iron with which to make hoppers, with which to do the other stoofs. So, huzzah! I have spent a little bit of time earlier this evening, getting some other chores in the Minecraft world of things done. Mostly making sure, trying to make sure things are ready, blah, 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 and all that jazz, so as that we can make sure that things are prepped and ready or done, so that's less stuff to have to worry about for later. So, yeah. Alright. Let's see. Okay, come on. Gotta wait for... There we go. Had to wait for the launcher to get ready there. And come on, do your thing, Minecraft. There we go. Go ahead here and get world loaded up. Okay, so let's see here. I want to make sure that we are set to hard. Bring volume up, because of course transiting on the minecart is rather noisy, so let's go ahead here. And so we will be transitioning, of course, to the other side now. Once we get this side done, we'll be heading over and starting that side gallery over yonder. Once we get this guy done, as is my custom, of course, I'll always make a little indentation into the side gallery to get stuff started, to say, hey, twee, don't be a dum-dum, here is where you are going to be actively mining next time. I did get the one off here to our left done as part of the task getting ready. I did get that one done, so well, that's good. Okay, we've got what's it, dirt, rooted dirt, whatever it's called. Yeah, rooted dirt. Got dirt with a bunch of roots in it. We'll make sure to use that as some of our stuff there, guys. I'm not going to really worry too much about... Oh, redstone. Let's quickly do that. Switch over to fortune. Up. Almost ungoofed on the iron here. Wunderbar. 39. Out of 4 ore blocks, 13 is not bad. Get a quick little drink there. That was one of the things that I was doing as part of my stuff, was doing some work on the copper that I've been getting. Is doing blast furnace stuff with it. So as that in part, be able to, I've got a fairly good pick now, so that's always, of course, wunderbar. to get my stuff fixed up. Yeah, it's haven't been doing quite as much Minecraft stuff. Mostly, as I've said, work has been, it's either, work being a pain in the arse, or playing other games. It's not that, like I said, I don't mind mine, and it's just that of late, between the whole rigmarole of stuff going on, and I just honestly need a little bit of a break from Minecraft, so that is what I have been doing. It will be nice, of course, to get switch some stuff up. I don't remember what we did in the last episodes of, or at least when I went and looked, it was like I had one prior mining live stream. I was like, gosh darn, work has just been royally egregious in this capacity, and I'm like, seriously, game? That's serious. Not seriously, game. So, seriously, IRL. I am going to be doing what I can as work and time permits over the coming weeks and all that to hopefully get in some more off-cam mining. Partly because, of course, it's I need the iron for the hoppers for stuff and all that. Close. There we go. See, I knew this was coming right here, so the moss blocks gave me that warning. So iron, iron, iron. Give me the irons. Yes, very much yes, 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 yes. Just seeing the glow vines here. As I was actually looking stuff up to make sure I had the right episode here, guys. I just went looking through my YouTube backlog of stuff, videos, and I came to realize is that one of my Galacticraft videos from back when we did Galacticraft back in 2020, I was like, oh my god, that's almost 6 years ago now, because it was I call the episode Mars Mining Mania. And it was, quite literally us doing stuff on. Is that a Zambit? Oh, it's a creeper. There's the Zambit. I saw the creeper right there, and there's another Zambit. I saw the creeper right there. Thought it was a Zambit. And it turns out we got the two Zambits down there. Glow squid down there. But yeah, I looked that up, and I went and saw that it was popped up on my check it as I was checking my stuff, and I was like, oh my god, it was 6 bloody years ago. Another thing we need to do is torchify. No. Oh, that was too close for comfort, guys. Too freaking close for comfort. We'll just burrow through. It's too freaking close for comfort. Yeah, just a sec here. I'll get you guys a link to that video. Yeah, so I looked at the description. It was like, yeah, well, it's like, well, finishing up digging out our Mars little hole in the ground. We landed on a. I don't remember if it was fully on a hill or what. I know, no, I think it was on a hill, but we dug, into it, and that was one of the things. We had the thorny vines, whatever they're called. I need to come up here and see where this water's coming from. Yes. Hello, Zambit. Back, son. That is a creeper. I just need a moment here to, come on. Making sure I got the fun powder. There's another Zambit. Hello, son. Back the heck off. Thank you. I hear you, buddy. Your angry growl. Oh my god, it's a gold-covered zombie. And he has a friend. I killed a bat. You jerk! Dare you set me aflame? I call upon the power of friend water. And they've got third guy. You. Oh, copper, and there's an oxidal. Coal and iron. Oh my god, it's a horde! Back for the creeper! Creeper, go boom. Go back! Oh my god! At least they blew him to bed. They may have blown him. Oh, they blew up the iron! Can't hit me when you're like that, Mr. Creeper. Let's see. Let me pause so I can, before I get too totally distracted, and give you guys that link. Because, it's can be easily distracted. Let's see here. Let's see. Mars. That was years ago. I just, I pulled when I got looked it up there in the YouTube studio. I was like, oh my god, that was freaking years ago. Gosh darn, let's see, it's 2026, 2025. No, it is 2026. But what am I talking about? Been making content for 8 freaking years now, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Tree, don't be a dum-dum. Get your headset back on so you can hear stuff. gosh darn. Picking up that stream, I just thought of the Hobbit film as string. You know, Gollum saying to Bilbo, string or nothing. Oh, there's... Oh my goodness. I know I'm going to regret this, but we're going to seal this part here. Seal this little bit here off. I see you over there, Spooter dude. What? Your fleshy flap of stepping there, Mr. Zambit. Give you away, get off my... I was about to say, get off my arse, Spider Dude, and it's a skelly trying to poke me with his bows, and zombies got me on fire. Come here, skelly boy. Oh, roar yourself there, Zambit. Get thou back, son. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's that bit of coal I saw? There it is. I don't really worry about the copper up there, but I'm going to worry about this iron right here. Oh my god, it's a proverbial horde! Thank goodness. Trying to just do my stuff in peace, zombie. Why don't you leave me the heck alone? Clay doesn't go in there. Tree, don't be a dum-dum. We'll get this copper right here, of course. Red alert! Zombie approaches! And zombies down. Thank goodness I landed on my thing here. Oh my goodness, all we're going to do. Wait now, there it is. The water's coming down. Most of it should start flowing down as well. Or it should. Yep. slowly flowing down. We'll just take a little snack of steak right here as we wait for this waterfall to finish flowing on down, so that it's not obstructing the view as much. Look, there's some coal right there I missed. I guess we're gonna have to go get that coal too. Alright, let's do a little bit more torching. Surprised that I even missed that coal. But then again, you know, one's not always going to be perfect when it comes to mining. Okay, what we'll do is use this andesite right there. There we go. Put a torchy torch right there. Another one right here. And while we're in a kind of safe area, or safe-ish area, trademark is possible, but always in danger. Let's go ahead here. We'll decant some of our loot into our shulker boxes. Grab myself another stack of torches and dirt. Decant that, and let's yank out our clay shulker box. Decant ourselves of the clay we have in our inventory. And let's get back to the stuff here. Come on. Wunderbar. Hey, we made it to a thing. Put a torch there, and then of course we will illuminate our line. So yeah, I like to try to do, you know, every other thing. So, you know, there's that one. Comes to, you know, I'd light up as I was doing that one. Could do this one. That was the last one, and then I'd light that up as we passed by. Crouch for safety. Ah! Wrong tool there, tree. You done goofed with using your shovel there, son. Iron! Ah! It's like, why am I falling? Oh, I took out a dirt block. Oh boy, almost lost that bad boy. Just seeing what's down over there. I hear a Zambit. I hear a Zambit. I know you're over there, Zambit. Why don't you take yourself elsewhere and take your moaning with you? I am in no mood to hear you gripe and groan of how much you want my tree brains, my canopy, and the fact that you can't bloody get to it. Yes, the thingy. 2, 3. Not the moss. Let's quickly, while we're here, need to get rid of that piece of flint. Bye-bye, flint. Boop! I'm going to replant the azalea here. Push it right. Put it right there. Just trying to get up there to... Oh, we don't need to. Oh, we can. Couldn't remember how much of this stuff I needed to remove. Because I knew we were part... Ooh, lapis! I knew we were part of the way, most of the chunk of the way across the geode, so... Screw it. I'm gonna need some replacement dirt anyway for my little bridge that we built. And of course I got my inventory full. Typical tree shenanigans. Yeah. Alright. What we'll do here is starting here. Let's see, we have 17 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Way down the basalt. So as that it does not suck up. Excuse me. Had to yawn and stretch. Put stack of dirt back. We'll have another slot of space to use. Whoa, hello. I just about walked into that. Double torch. Iron. Iron. That lays back down here, huh? Oh, I'll probably get lost if I venture too far that way. Not that I won't say that I won't have a general idea of where I am. It's just that I thought, yeah, let's not do that. Hello there, Oxodal. Since we can break this block of iron open here, we'll take advantage of the situation that'll allow me to come get this iron right here at minimum. Some more iron over there. Yeah, that's some more iron and more iron. What's gold? It just looked like iron. It was blingy enough to look like and just in the right amount of shadow to make it look like iron and not gold. I hear you, Spooter. Get some fish down here. Ah, it's probably more fish. Iron. And a skelly. Well, yes, there you are, son. Go bye-bye. How dare you poke me? How frickin' dare you poke me? See over there, Mr. Spooter. Take that, son. Got your legs down to size. Got the iron that I am here for. Come on, tree. For a moment I thought I saw iron, and I was like, wait a minute, am I seeing that right? No, it's just an optical illusion. Back up here. Iron and a creeper. Back, Mr. Boom Boom Boy. I'll wait to get that iron. Of course, I need more. God, I need more stuff. Backtrack. Oh. We'll pull out 2 stacks of torches, so as that we don't have to worry about going into our supply shulker box quite so much. Iron there. It's up to that little thingamabob that little loop-de-loop we just found. And we're getting out our shulker boxes. Iron! On the stone. Iron! That's always the fun part of caving is, it's become, of course, with the increase in depth and the change of terrain generations, the last few versions, it's just become a lot more challenging to do caving, and for me at least, I'm the sort that, don't get me wrong, complex caving can be fun. It's just having so much caving to do is like, ah! Alright. Come on. We'll go and plug that water source over here. Of course, unintended consequence is getting more irons. Excuse me, but it felt good. we'll just be able to get, you know, enough deep slate from normal ops from when we do it ourselves. That 1 3/4 of a stack of iron. Yes. Tree approves. Tree approves. You know, it's got me thinking, not so ironically. Aha! Iron is at the end of the first Iron Man film. The oh, hello. Ah! You know how Tony Stark, he's defeated Obadiah Stane, and he goes and says, I am Iron Man. And of course the press goes wild. It's interesting that they were able to get Robert Downey Jr. back for oh, hello. Redstone. It's interesting that they were able to get RDJ back to play Dr. Doom. But of course, he is notoriously popular and well known, of course, for playing Iron Man Tony Stark. And for me, I'm not sure if I'm going to go see it or not. Avengers Doomsday. I haven't been keeping up quite as much as I should with MCU the last few years. Not really since, I think it was, I know for sure that last MCU film Tree Dad and I went to see was, for sure, was Thor Love and Thunder, but as much as we've been enjoying MCU and all that, it's just that, we're just, as I've said before, we're just following the basic trend of, getting kind of superheroed out. And don't get me wrong, I know that there's a lot of Marvel stuff from the comics that, can be adapted. And, it's, if they feel, if Marvel feels that they can do it, I was like, I'm not going to tell them stop. One of the things I do know is that, at least here in the U.S., there was, at least for a number of years, there was the Golden Age, the Silver Age of comic books, and I think there was also, I'm not sure if fully remembering if there was like a Bronze Age. Skelly, come here, bad boy. Burn! Bones burn. Yes, bones can burn. When exposed to a sufficient amount of heat and diamond. I just saw that. It was like diamond. Swip out. This is why I use Tommy. Torch out mining. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about going down there. Where in the heck are you, Skelly? And get your bloody... there you are. You're hiding in plain sight, son! Just quickly seeing if there might have been stuff to yoink. going to worry about it. Let me double check to make sure I'm remembering stuff right here on the, because I know that we are in the, stupid stuff with my roots. I know that we are currently in the modern age of, comics. Let's see. Comic book ages. Yeah, there was a Bronze Age, actually. So there's the link to the Wikipedia article. So yeah, the Victorian era was from 1842 to 1897. Then we have the Platinum Age, you know, platinum being very blingy. Then we have, which was from 1897 to 1938, we have the Golden Age from 38 to 56, Silver from 56 to 70, Bronze from 70 to 85, and then we are now in the Modern. Yeah, it's, you know, it was, you know, when I learned that, you know, Stan Lee had passed, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I knew he was getting up there. And, you know, but part of me was just so sad that he died when he did. And, you know, it's like, you know, they always, you know, he's always liked to make a cameo in his. They always had him making some sort of cameo in the films. And, we're not going to worry about that, but we will get the iron. No, no. We're going to have to go down there. Back, zombie! Give me my iron! Give me my iron! That's my iron! Give me! You gold-encrusted jerk! Your bling will not save you! Okay, where's the... There's Skelly down here somewhere. There's a bat. Where are you, Skelly? There you are. Come here, you bony jerk. Alright, so we're now going to... find a decent elevation site. Just take it out. Frickin' bony and skelly. All the jerks. Just all the frickin' jerks. Go away, zombie. Leave me the heck alone. That stupid skelly. Oh, look at this. We have a geode. We just found a geode. Law of unintended consequences. Not gonna... Stay away from me, spider. Let's see, I'm going to take a screenshot of this because, quite frankly, I am in no mood to have to do this right now because, of course, geodes can take a heck of a lot of time. So that is why I'm going to screenshot it. Let's see. That way I can come back off cam and decant that thing of its loot. There you are, Mr. Skelly. I know you were waiting for me. I heard your bones rattling there. Mr. Zambit, in your not so blingy armor, you didn't even stand a chance. Let's see. We have got to. Toss that. Grab ourselves a crafting table. All right. Gosh darn it! Now I was thinking about the skeleton rap by Dan Ball. You know, I've got a bone to pick with you. I just love the intro. How he goes. Well, hello again, friend. I'm a skeleton returning from the dead, determined to be relevant again. And I've got a bone to pick with you, little human. Bone to pick with you. I see where you've been and I don't like it. Well, stop your moaning there, zombie. I'm a zombie. Life is lonely. So torch out mining. As the saying says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's my guide back home. So here we are. We have made it back to our side gallery. Hooray! You can finally get on with this bloody mess. But it's been a fairly nice, aside from the mob drama, it's been a nice little collection. Got a nice big chunk of loot. Don't know what I was trying to say, chance. And when I was telling my talked to my fellow coworker at work who likes movies like me, movie buff, and you know, he's looking forward to seeing what Avengers Doomsday has got. And I said I'm not sure if Tree Dad and I are gonna be going to watch it. I know that for sure I'm going to be going to see Dune Part 3, and when the trailer for that came out a while back now, I was like, you know, it's like, you know, just having read Dune Messiah, you know, I was eager to see some of that stuff, and of course, you know, spoilers for the book, you know, I knew that Duncan was going to be back, and so, and then, of course, you know, Jason Momoa shows up. And so I said to movie buff coworker, I was like, did you see it? Did you see Jason Momoa? And he was like, yeah, what the heck is he doing in there? And I was like, I'm not telling. If you don't want a spoiler for the movie, I'm not telling. But I do know that one in the book, at least, one of the guild navigators, Edric, is you know, the character of Cytail, a Telexian face dancer. Basically, they're kind of like when you cross donkey with a horse, you get a mule, and a mule is neither gender, neither masculine nor feminine. It's an it. Donkeys are mules are an it. That's essentially what Frank Herbert has described the face dancers as. Is they're essentially gender neutral. They can take on either appearance of either masculine or feminine. So let me see. Dune Part 3 trailer. There we go. It's already in my browser search history. Oh wait, that's Dune Part 2. It's Dune Part 2. I don't want Dune Part 2. I want Dune Part 3 trailer. There we go. I'll get you guys the link to that. Boom. There's the Dune Part 3 trailer. There's either okay, it's 110 yeah, 111. Yeah, 111. I'll say 110. It's 110 is your spy. We see Eleron presumably coming to a meeting, and then at 111 we have, you know, this dark, towerous, this dark, sort of Egyptian, sarcophagus. I was blanking on the term. I almost said mummy, but I was like, mummy is what's inside the sarcophagus. And presumably that is Edric. And then camera turns and we see Scytail. And they actually have a thing in the thing here where, in the trailer, I think. Let's see here. Battle Fremen versus what looks like a Japanese-like culture. Or an Asian-like culture. Battle, Edric entering the ship. Jason Momoa. There's Scytail again. But yeah, it's just so interesting to see some of the stuff, and that is one of the things that Herbert was trying to do. Was one of his many themes was the attraction of people to a charismatic leader, especially a religious one, and how we should be wary of such individuals. But of course, you know, we also have one of his things is the ecological stuff. And currently, you know, work's been such a pain in the arse, I haven't been able to quite read as much as I would like on the books. So, but I'm still, I'm at least still reading, at least where I am, I'm still on God Emperor of Dune, and, you know, I'm a decent way through the book. Emperor Leto is in the process of testing Siona Atreides, distant descendant of his sister Ganima, and that jazz. So, and that's of course, you know, it's one of the things, you know, that Herbert has written about is, you know, the golden path, where, you know, the optimum path that Emperor Leto takes, guides humanity, you know, helps really push humanity toward, because, you know, as you know, it's discussed in the books as, you know, stagnation and the like, to, you know, humanity will get to the point to where it can no longer, because of the challenges of that the universe will present, and if humanity remains complacent, there will be no way that humanity will survive. And so that is one of the things that, you know, Leto, I believe I've read it, or at least I recall that I've read it, where Emperor Leto says, I will give humanity a lesson that they will remember in their bones. Oh, yeah, it says, I don't remember who he says that to, but he does say it. It's like, I'll give humanity a lesson they will remember in their bones. And that he goes along a long path of self-sacrifice, even though at times he has yearned to turn away from the path, like his father Paul Atreides did. Spoilers. Same time, he knows that it has to be done. Let's go ahead here and quickly surface so as that I don't die. Another one of Emperor Leto's themes is his fish speaker army, in that the reason going for with the fish speakers being female is it is in his word, more or less in his words, easier to have women control some women and not have the destructive forces that a male army would have otherwise. There you are. There we go. But yeah, see, he says, I have a female force for the sake of a less destructive army, and they literally, the fish speakers literally do all of Duke Leto's bidding and all that. Of course, at the time of the God Emperor of Dune, it has been 3,500 years since Leto has ascended to the throne. He's been reigning for 3,500 years, and he knows that there will come a time where his work on the Golden Path to make sure that humanity survives in the universe will come to an end, and he knows that through his prescience, due to spice melange, that time is coming very soon. Come on, get up. Leto knows that his time is coming. dare go running away there. Oh. Looks like we've been, part of us has been down. Oh, hello there, creeper. Creeper's gonna creep. Go away there, son. In this case, I'll use the water as a defensive measure. Aha! Take that, son. On you, creeper. On you. Get myself all squirreled around. This partly for light, but also partly to be able to see where in the heck I am. Okay. Let's. So I don't have to try. I'm trying to avoid having to dig out my supply shulker box if possible. That's why I'm doing all the excuse me, dirt mining right here, right now. Except for right here, this can remain there. It was one of those, it's one of those interesting things in the change that Denis Villeneuve has done with Dune. It's, of course, a number of purists are going to say, that's wrong, like what he did with Kynes and changing him from a him to a her. And, and definitely, I would have, me personally, now finally having, like I said, I read the novel years ago when I was in school, and I myself, having seen the more recent adaptation, I would prefer that they would have kept it, the original gender, which Parrot Kynes was Liet Kynes was male, not female, in the book. But at the same time, one cannot always anticipate stuff. It's one of the more interesting things in the book is how he dies out in the desert. He's not shown like it is in the film where she is getting ready to go mount a sandworm, and then boom, she's dead. Gets killed by, I don't remember if it's, I haven't seen the movie in a while. Though I do have it. I need to go rewatch Dune Part 1, but it's whatever the Sardaukar, or, yeah, it's a Sardaukar that kills Kynes, and in the desert he is picked is in the book, he's picked up and at some point somewhere after helping Paul and Jessica escape, and He's cast out into the desert without still suit. And of course, subsequently, he dies of heat prostration. I just wish work, as I've said, I just wish work weren't such being a pain in the posterior right now. It would be a lot easier for me to be doing content creation stuff. But alas, alas, it is stuff. Thing we can do right here, right now. Let's go ahead and put it's 2 over. Ah, not like that, tree. Don't be a dum-dum. Ah. I'm so looking forward to being on vacation next month. On that matter, that will be the on the matter of vacation. While it is bouncing around in my canopy, I will. It'll be the second full week in May that I will be doing. That's right. That's right. Department of Duh. It was like dirt block. Let's go get this dirt block out of the way. Oh wait, right. Duh. Stuff. It will be the first full week. What the? Ah. I was like, how did we get a spring, not 1 but 2 leaks? So, duh. There we go. Anywho, as I was trying to say, come here, cobble. Thank you. It'll be the second full week in May. And as we get closer to the actual date of events and all that, I'll let you guys know more of the stream schedule that I have been working on, but it should follow a pattern similar to what we did last May. That is, whatever stream I managed to do. Let me see. Let me pull up my phone here, my shell phone. Come on. Yeah. Having an awkwardly placed tree pocket for the tree phone is awkward. All right. Let me see here. Let's see. So it will be probably either the 7th or the 8th of May. It'll be here in just over 2 weeks. Over 2.5 weeks from now. That I will make sure to say the more or less the official agenda that I will have for streaming, and this will be the week. It'll be from Saturday, May 9th to Sunday, the 17th. So that's 9 days essentially, 9th through the 17th. And definitely from the 10th through the 16th, there will, well, technically the 17th, there will definitely be no content. Because, of course, I'm doing another trip to Colorado and all that jazz. So that will, of course, be a thing. And I have been saving up some money for some time now, and I have been able to get hammered in some. I still need to double check a few places, But I've already got most of my, hello, water. I've already gotten most of my big ticket items, either reserved or reserved and paid for. There's a couple places that I still need to quickly double check on, and want to make sure, as I like to say, I's dotted, T's topped, X's crossed. I know that's usually I's dotted and T's crossed, but I much more prefer the euphemism of an X being two slashes crossing over each other. That's why that's why I saw X's. That's why I say X's crossed. And the T tango is it's got the line like an I, but it's got a big topper. So that's why I say T's topped. Technically in come on. Technically the capital I is got a topper on as well, but generally, that doesn't have quite the same rhyme to, dotting an I. Which is, of course, why I came up with I's dotted, T's topped, X's crossed. I know it's my own little thingamabob, but I would rather have my own little thingamabob and make it my own, Once we get back to the main gallery, I think we'll probably go ahead and take a break. It'll be a little bit early to take a break, but the opportunity calls. My roots could use a little bit of stretching. Well, like as I've historically said originally, it was just after last year's Colorado trip. I was saying, it's like I'm looking forward to going out east next spring, and then of course the Colorado Railroad Museum and the Durango Rail Historical Society made their announcement of the Denver and Rio Grande Western number 315 going to the Colorado Rail Museum from this past November to this upcoming May, and I was like, well, I am not going to turn that down. It's not going to be the end of the world if I can't go out east this year. And as I've thought about it, I'm thinking that maybe... Whoa, hello. Sleepy time? I don't want no thunder boom booms. I've thought about... This is actually a good opportunity to... Actually, let's put some stuff away. See, we're good on dirt in our shulker box there, so... I've been thinking, now that we got that tangent out of the way, I've thought about maybe next year, 2027, of just, like I said, I've want to go out east to the Reading and Northern and the East Broad Top railroads, both of which are out in Pennsylvania, and get to visit some places on both the outbound and inbound legs of the trip to and from Pennsylvania from Treelandia. And I've had the thought the last about 5 days, something, 4 or 5 days of maybe just doing something within the, much closer to home here in Treelandia. Something that, oh, hello. Doing something that would probably be, like maybe, a couple hour, the equivalent of a couple hours drive out, maybe like half a day's drive out, say, instead of saying half day, let's say maybe 6, 7, 8, no, probably no more than maybe 8 hours out, equivalent of driving or other suitable transport. And, Tree Dad has said, some of the stuff he has seen and all that he would potentially like to be able to do and all that jazz. And I've had the thought of a couple things that, maybe, ooh, hello there, Copper. Maybe of taking the, doing, maybe teaming up with him and doing a couple things to where, we share, we take his vehicle and I take the vehicle I use. And let's see. Oh, got to do some chunk of what's it right there? Six 59, 62. Yeah, yep. That's what I want. Don't go. Excuse me. Don't go mining more there, tree, for the moment. But maybe next year do something a little more in the greater, somewhere here in the greater Treelandia area, Treelandia region. Be a little bit more practical. Get in a little bit of a trip, but not have it be quite so long, expensive, and strenuous. It's more or less what I'm thinking. As a good way to have a break year, as it were. Those guys there. Check those guys in there. Just take out everything. Yeah, that might be that's what I've been thinking the last, like I said, a decent chunk of the last week is not. It's taking a little bit of a less strenuous trip. Because there are, I've done some looking around at some of the places I could go in here in Treelandia, and of course in stuff that can be done. And I was like, that might be interesting. That looks interesting. All that sort of stuff. You realize, is that could be in your own backyard, sort of thing. And that is honestly what I am really kind of thinking about in some ways, is what would be feasible to do for a more localized trip. And the idea that I've had is not to do, an entire week, take maybe, like a decent chunk of the week, like say, let's do this. Take, maybe, like say do a Tuesday through a Friday sort of thing. That way I can get in a little bit of stream time for you guys on, say, Monday. Then, meet up with Tree Dad and we'll go do a couple things wherever it is we decide to go. And, say, get back on, say, Friday or Saturday. As I've said, I've taken a look around at some of these some places, and it was like, that could be a this way. There's several different directions I can go, or we could go, I should say, and that would be a decently feasible trip. And even if we don't save, even if it's say like a Tuesday through, like I said, that's why I'm kind of thinking of a Tuesday through Friday trip, is because we'd have a transit day out to wherever it is we go. We'll have a couple days to do stuff wherever it is we go, and perhaps even go to a different location. Say, say leave Tuesday from Treelandia, get to where we want to go, settle in, do some preliminary stuff. Wednesday, go out and do some stuff, and then move on to our next location through through Wednesday evening, and then Thursday we do stuff in like the second location, do some more stuff there. Then Friday we return home to Treelandia. But it's not firm yet. It's in the future. I don't want to get thinking too far ahead. All right, like I said, let's go ahead here, guys. We're going to take a short little break. So, yeah, everybody go ahead and stand up, stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink, use the restroom, and I will see you all here in a few minutes. Okay, guys, tree is back. So, let me finish settling back in here. I did have to go double check something. I left myself a little scribble scrabble of a note on my desk not long before, go check out thing. It's one of these things, reminding myself to do it, and I was like, this is a perfect time to do that. Let's go double check. And I was like, okay, good. What I needed to know. So I am more informed. I'm still going to have to worry about it, but, future stuff is future. Okay, so let's go ahead here. We'll leave our clay as is. We are all stocked up. Let's quickly squirrel away some stuff here with our other stuff. Excuse me, but it felt good. Like I said, I'm just so eager to... I just wish it could be this time next month. I'd be on vacation. But alas, sad face. It is mid-April. Sad face. One of the places I know I've mentioned that I want to go is the Colonel Mustard's in Colorado Springs. It's one of the places that I pulled up their website and all that jazz. And let me get you guys their link. Basically, it was one of those evenings at work. There we go. One of those break times at work, and I just went to visit Colorado Springs, and I just pulled up, as I've said, I'd like to go visit, it's like, places like McDonald's or Burger King or Hardee's or Arby's, wherever. A standard to go place is fine and all that, but try to go to local dining establishments, the local restaurants. And so yeah, I just went scrolling through the Visit Colorado Springs website on it was like first break a while back, and I saw their logo of the officer, with the monocle and the upturned sideburns, and I was like, oh my god, that is so. Excuse me, let me get a drink here. Oh my god, that is so freaking cute. And I took a look see at some of their sandwiches, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. And then I saw that they even have I kid you not, a mustard ice cream, and I was like, oh, excuse me. Excuse me again. Go juice, make me burp. But they have their mustard ice cream, and I was like, okay. I'm gonna have to see how good that is. So that is, wanting to see what it's like. That's what sold me on Colonel Mustard's. And it's not too far from either Garden of the Gods or the Cog Railway. So I was like, well, it's, oh, hello. It's like, it's not too far from Garden of the Gods and the Cog, so that would be, it's a little bit of a detour, but, it would be a suitable enough detour, to go get lunch after a cog ride. As I looked at where they were on the map, and I was like, yeah, that would be super duper. just... Come on. Yes, I do. Yes, I did. I just about flooded myself. Well, Future Tree would have flooded himself if I hadn't double-checked that. So I was like, yeah, it's Colonel Mustard's is not too far out of the way for going to get lunch. If I went and got the earliest possible cog ride that I could for Pikes Peak, and I was like, yes, yes, indeed. Want to try, as I said, some of their sandwiches look pretty darn good. So it's gonna be not that tray. Literal case of deciding in the moment, what strikes my fancy. What would be good, seemingly, what looks good enough to try, and of course go from there. I've also talked about, of course, the airplane restaurant too, and like I said, movie buff coworker, he gosh darn cord getting caught. Get over here, stupid headset. This is why I dislike having wired stuff, but at the same time, sometimes wired stuff has its benefits. Let's see. The airplane restaurant, they got a former KC-97 tanker as part of their centerpiece, and I saw that, not long after last year's trip to Colorado, as I was starting to do, a little bit of basic reconnaissance, and I was like, oh my god, movie buff coworker, who's also into planes, he would get such a freaking kick out of this, and I said, hey, movie buff coworker, I just found a thing, and he said, yeah, what? Well, in Colorado Springs, there's a place called the Airplane Restaurant. And he said, yeah. I was like, I already knew about it because of our mutual friend who works in the flooring department for closing. I was like, oh, I didn't know you did that. I'd rather tell you and have you know rather than not tell you and have you not know. So yeah, it was so freaking awesome, the fact that he knew about that. And yeah, it's one of these things is, it's, knowing the, letting the fingers do the walking, or knowing people who could tell you stuff. And in this case, it was he knew, and I didn't know that he knew. But as I said, I'd rather tell him and he knows versus me not telling him and not letting him know, with him being, with movie buff guy being a plane guy. Well, he's wanting to get says he's wanting to get the latest Microsoft flight simulator, and he's been he said this past week he should be getting a new PC. So I'll double. I haven't asked him, of course, yet about it, and I'll ask him on tomorrow's shift to say, hey, you got that new PC you were yakking about yet? And I'll see what he says. As he says, he's got a real old machine. It's just going. It's one of these. Oh, I'm an old man computer. I can just barely do stuff. Please give me time to do stuff. Sort of thing, you know. He was asking me about some stuff for tech, and so, we've talked tech stuff before, and he knows that I'm not the most expert opinion, but he values my judgment enough to say, to know that, if I say you need, trying to get the most, that's always what I've told him is, what I learned from Tree Dad is do what you can to get the most bang for your buck. That is the biggest thing. That is the best possible thing you can do. Especially given the way RAM's going for these days. And VRAM, as, graphics cards have been somewhat recently. So yeah, that's what I've told him is just get the most bang for your buck, dude. Excuse me, but it felt good. And when it was asking about graphics cards, I was like, yeah, you definitely should get do what you can to try to get a higher end, like a 16 gig card, because that's what he asked about. I was like, they're recommending I get a 16 gig card. Some folks, I've been talking to at various tech stores and all that here in the Treelandia region, and they're saying, get a higher end GPU, try to get at least a 16 gig GPU. And I was like, yeah, if you want to run Flight Simulator, where in the heck did I leave my shulker box? What did I? Realize that I forgot to do that. Oh, shulker box, where are you? Hello? Hello? There you are. Come to treat. Oh, there's iron. Yes, very fortuitous. I have inadvertently saved my own posterior when it comes to some iron. Yes. I didn't notice it till just now, and hello. Get you out of the way. Iron, come to Tree Daddy. It's like, but yeah, basically, continuing with the stuff, it was like, yeah, get the 16 gig card. I know it'll be somewhat expensive, but in this case, if you want to run Flight Simulator, you better get it. You better get it. When I saw what is now my current gigabyte card, I saw that, and it was at a fairly affordable for me, a fairly affordable price. I was like, I know it's not going to be, it doesn't have the most RAM, it's not going to be the sexiest of cards, but it's compared to, compared to what I've had, it is significantly more memory than what I've had, and I definitely need it, so I hopped on it, of course, like no tomorrow. When that happens. So, it's Carpe Diem, seize the day. Or in this case, seize the GPU. So fortunately, it was at one of the tech stores that I usually go to for my stuff. And so they have a member login page, where you can you know, can sign up for their, like their newsletter and services and all that, and you can also use it to, say put certain product on hold for me. And so when I saw, just pulled up their website and saw the GPU, the gigabyte GPU I got, I was like, oh, mine. And they had like, it was only like, I hadn't checked their site in a while. And so it was one of these cases where I pulled up their site, just to see what there was to see. And I was like, it's like I had been hoping for the potential to get like maybe a 24 gig card, a 20 or 24 gig card, but I knew that but that would be, I knew that those are going to be a lot more expensive, and so that's why I thought to myself, if they've got a fairly decent 16 gig GPU for a very good price, I'll hop on it instead. And that's, after comparing it to like, in a number of ways, it was comparable to some of the 20 and 24 gig cards that they had. Yes, Sam, but I hear you. It's comparable in many ways to some of the 20 and 24 gig cards that they had. And so I was like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, that's why I just went ahead and was like, put in the request. And of course, when I got there, all they had to do, one of the guys that worked there said, "Yeah, it's in the back room. Just give me a sec, and I'll go get it for you." And then once he got it out, it was like, I just want to make sure this is the right GPU, right? And I double checked. I was like, yes, 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 this is it. This is it. Thank you, thank you. And then he asked, is there anything else you need? And I was like, no, this is it. This is what I came here for. He's like, normally I work nights and I'm usually trying to get into bed by now or preparing to get to bed right now. And then he said, well, let's go get you out to the checkout line here so you can get on home and go to bed if you work nights. And I said, thank you. And so we went up together, and he it's because, obviously with it being the sort of smaller store that it is, they obviously wouldn't want people walking out with, a high dollar item like a GPU sort of thing going out like that. So we got to talk for a little bit as there were already several people in line getting stuff, visiting this tech store and all that. And so finally got my turn, and the guy said, okay, we got a GPU sale here. And I was like, The cashier was like, yes, I've seen this card. It's a fairly decent card. He's like, I know I don't have as much money as I'd like to get a more RAM intensive card, but I would rather, get to at least something is better than what I've had. And I was like, smart man. Like I said, that's what Tree Dad has told me and Tree Bro is, get the most bang for your buck, get what you can afford. And in this case, it was something that I could afford. So I just stretched myself just a little bit, I will be honest, in that regard. But I would rather have that little bit of stretching. And, oh, hello. And be able to get the GPU and come on, thank you. Get the GPU I need and all that jazz, because of course, some of the stuff I've got is very graphically intensive, like City Skylines. Oh, we need to get rid of that bloody piece of flint. Bye-bye, piece of flint. Bye-bye. And if, of course, it has helped me out with my gaming stuff for you guys, so... I was like, part of me really wishes I could afford some of the real top tier sort of stuff, but unfortunately, with my job that I have, I don't make top dollar like that. It's either, have a very high paying job or spend a lot of time, saving up. And I'd rather, it's, darned if you do, darned if you don't, one way or the other. Ah! Oh, look at that. There's some copper right here for whenever I was coming through. Interesting. We'll go ahead and put a block, but I know that's probably not going to be the original block that was there, but right now I don't give a darn. Yeah, it's darned if you do, darned if you don't in terms of money, and so that's why, at least in my experience with the jobs that I've had, I will go for, I'll save up the money for it as much as I can and go for the most economically feasible thing I can afford. No, we don't need to necessarily harvest all the dirt, but seeing as where I am and needing some dirt to not have to fully worry about draining stuff up topside, it'll be worth it. Okay, let's go ahead here. Some stuff. Just put that andesite in the correct chest there. Department of Depth. Yeah, it's I would rather, honestly, save up some money for, like the trip I'm taking. Give myself a good experience. Of course, that's... Whoa! Hello. Hello. Was not anticipating that. And there's some iron right there. Hooray! Come on, where are you? Yeah, honestly, I'd rather save it for a good trip and not always have to worry about computer stuff. It's what Gandalf tells Frodo there in Fellowship of the Ring. It's what you do with the time that is given to you. And if I take some of my time to have some good memories and get to share those memories with people, that is a good use of money and not a waste of time at all. Through here at some point. like I said, that's why I was been thinking about wanting to talk to Tree Dad about going something, doing a couple days trip worth of something potentially next year, next spring, provided things haven't gone haywire for anything. Of course, the world is already messed up in its own way, of course. But we're not going to go down that particularly depressing tangent. Why? Because we need to go and see if we can't get ourselves some more irons. We want irons. Much, much irons. All the irons so we can make hoppers. Like I said, I went and used a metric butt ton of the copper I've been getting to run through the smelter so that we'll, at some point, whenever we need to, come fix this pick right here, one we just mined that with. Come here. Come here. Thank you. That way we can fix that pick as need be. Save up for a new tree mobile, of course. As I've said, I've done a bunch of investing myself, and as is my usual preface, I am no financial expert. Always do your research. Or if you feel unsure about something, find, like go to, oh, hello there, gravel, bloody gravel. Go find, go to, like, talk to somebody at your local financial institution, whatever financial institution you use, and iron, and just do your research. That's the thing you will always hear me harp on about, is do your research. Do your frickin' research. 17. It's not bad. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That works. Yeah. As I said, that is the thing that you will always hear me harp about. And all that. With the stuff that Vanguard does, hasn't been perfect, but I've had a pretty good experience with them. And with their Cash Plus account, it's currently offering a 3.35% APY for the yield. And that is why I'm this block of diorite right there looked like something weird, and I was like, what in the heck is that? Oh, it's diorite. It's diorite. Don't be a dum-dum tree. But yeah, I've been thinking that I may need to do what I've been thinking is really think I need to start chucking more money into my my high yield, my money, what's it thingamabob, Cash Plus account. For savings, for a new tree mobile and all that. Because that would, obviously, I could get a lot of money, and just invest it. But at the same time, stock markets, especially the last few months has been very volatile. So, you know, things can go up, then go down, then go up and down, be flat, whatever. But it's been fairly volatile the last few months with the way things have been going on nationally and internationally, and I'm like, ugh. And that is why I'm thinking about doing that. It's not the fact that I won't stop investing. It's just making me a little bit more cautious about wanting to invest in new companies, and that's why I want to do the ETF fund stuff, exchange traded funds that Vanguard offers. As I said, I am no financial expert. Go do your research. I've been constantly looking at. In some ways, I do keep looking at the ETFs I'm considering, and some of them have, you know, they've had their ups and downs and all that, and been mulling over some of them. But yeah, it's instead of going around and picking, I'm picked out on individual companies. Coal, we got some coal. Yeah, it's just, you know, going fun, you know, I've just gotten tired of having to, you know, constantly review some of these companies, and that's why I've been doing wanting to do more of the ETF stuff. Okay. Freaking gravel. Let's see here. Make sure I yank out our. Oh wait, that's gravel. But Canopy said that was diorite, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not diorite. It's gravel. Iron and copper. Come on. That's finally done. Yay. Yeah, it's looking forward this year to making a nice pretty penny on my dividend income from my investments that I've got. Do need to get rid of this gravel, this bloody gravel. And so that is, you know, it's one of these things is that, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16, 15. Don't want to replace, don't want to have andesite take the place of cobble Because, of course, we have a nice big place. Come on! Stretchy stretch. Oh, that felt good. Oh, that felt very good. Let's see. It's not worth it. We'll just head this way with the remaining gravel we got. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that once my trip's over and I can, start doing, taking some of the money instead of, having, going and just holding it in my savings, I can start investing in it. Definitely put a little bit more toward the my Cash Plus account. And of course, a little bit more toward ETFs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just trying to get, of course, as much diversification as I can, while at the same time having to be somewhat practical in terms of price. Iron! So we made it here to the end of this side, and let's start heading back, guys. I wish I were far better off than I was. But, alas, things are the way they are. I said that's what part of the reason why I started investing is like, I wish I'd started when I was a little bit younger, but at least I'm doing something in terms of investing. And just a second, I've got to stretch. I'm going to stand up and stretch. Just a second. Sorry about that. But both my roots and my limbs were saying, stretch us, stretch us, do the stretching. You need to stretch. But at least I'm doing something about trying to make my financial situation better. Oh, hello there, more irons. Yeah. For a moment, I thought that the andesite right there was lapis, and I was like, seriously, did I miss lapis? And I was like, oh wait, that's andesite. Excuse me. That's why I've seen in some of the financial channels I follow that excuse me, that doing the dividend strategy is the long haul game. Whoa, hello. Doing dividends is the long haul stratagem, and I am the sort, I like planning for the long haul. That is why I have been... excuse me. That is why I've been doing what I can to invest without trying to sacrifice for the present. You know, it's... You know what Yoda says to Luke there in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back is like, all his life he looked away to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. And, excuse me. That is why, try to, think, is at times, it's like, I don't need to do I really need to spend this money on investing, or do I need to do something to, like, hold on to it and do something for, like, gaming and, streaming stuff? Or copy. Oops, that was dumb. Ow. 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 Something caught in my tree eye there for a second. Yeah, like I said, I wish I were more fun. If I had, the obligatory amount of dividend income, I would definitely be more of a full-time content creator. But alas, that is not, at the time being, true. Ah! Well, since I done goof with that, let's take advantage of the situation I have made for myself. Excuse me. And we will take the gravel that we... Ow, I hate having stuff in my eye. Take it, save some dirt. Ow. Stupid stuff in eye. Ow. Oh my god. I don't know why. I just started thinking of Planet Base 2. Ah, geez Louise, Tree. Why'd you have to think about that? Ow. Oh. Of course. Of course. We'll just take those bloody freaking bloody pieces of flint. I almost said gravel. That's why I was so exasperated in saying flint instead of gravel. And chuck them. Yeah, it's in my own investing journey, it's been trying to find that balance between living in the moment and, planning for the future, investing for the future. Ah! Ah! Bloody gravel! Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. More irons, some of which was standing out like a sore twig, and I didn't see it. Guess what? Now I have it. Just quickly seeing what I got there. All right. Let's quickly turn, let's see, world options, peaceful. I don't want no baddies. Suddenly, I doubt they'd pop in, but, I'd rather have that air of caution about it. 13. How was that thing? Oh, what was that thing I was thinking about earlier? And I've totally forgotten now. Naturally. Ah. Oh. Ow. Ow. I hate it when dust mixes with sap in my eyes. It just it's so bloody itchy and makes it hard to see. Because all I want to do is, close my eyes. So sap can, pick up the gunk and then, of course, can try to, get it to where it's, at the edge of the eye, and I can put a twig on it and wipe it out because it's just so, my eyes. Nine, 4 is 13, so I'm not going to worry about that. Excuse me. I was honestly hoping that we'd be able to go longer, guys, but I think we're going to go ahead here and wrap up because I do have a few things I need to go take care of, mostly putting up clean bark for for stuff and all that. So I think we're going to go ahead here and call it a stream. Excuse me. That way I can try and make sure I can get myself up to hopefully get in some Titan Quest stuff tomorrow. Let me see. Is there anyone live we could go say hi to? Not sure if there is. I said I was hoping we could do definitely the 2 we did, plus hopefully the next one, but not looking for it like it. Oh, I see several people we could go say hi to. So let me go ahead here and yank out that. And let's see here. I think I see somebody I haven't said hi to in some time. So let me make double sure that they are up at a good time frame. Come on. Let's see. That person's a maybe. That person's a maybe. See another person here. Oh, they just went live. Oh, they just went. Yes. I have found for us to a suitable raid target. We're gonna go say hi to DVV over at twitch.tv/dragons versus vampires. So go and select our standard raid call, which is the True Grove has arrived to bring you shade and water. Please wait for me, of course, to post first. I want a nice, strong raid behind me. Hope to catch you guys, now that it's Monday, hope to catch you guys later today, Monday. Hopefully about 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time. That's part of the reason why I want to make sure I get to bed, is so we could do this stream for Titan Quest Season 4. Hopefully sometime later this week, probably, hopefully Thursday or Friday, depending on where things land and how all the business is and all that at work. Hopefully we can make it to where I can have another episode of Titan Quest Season 4 next Saturday, of course, will be another episode of City Building Saturdays in City Skylines. And next Sunday, of course, we'll have another episode of Midwestern Minecraft Mining Livestream stuff. So if you're watching here on Twitch at twitch.tv/OsageOrange, please remember to go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're watching over on the YouTubes at youtube.com/OsageOrangeGame, please remember to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications. Really do appreciate it. Let us go ahead here. Let's get this raid party started. May you guys have fair weather, bountiful water, and secure soil. I'll see you guys later.